Before we begin, let me express the horror and grief so many Americans at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk have felt. Charlie was a giant of his generation, a champion of liberty, and an inspiration to millions and millions of people. Our prayers are with his wonderful wife, Eric, and his beautiful children. Fantastic people they are. We miss him greatly, yet I have no doubt that Charlie's voice and the courage he put into the hearts of countless people, especially young people, will live on. I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The date of the ceremony will be announced, and I can only guarantee you one thing, that we will have a very big crowd. Very, very big.
Good morning, Owasso. This is Chad with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. Yeah, I got that news, a lot of news over the weekend while I was away at drill, that the killer's been caught, that there's a bunch of conspiracies rolling up about it, about a trans, cult or trans organization that was kind of all conspiring against it, and that, there were books released about it on Amazon and all sorts of information. But the big news is that the killer has been caught. He seems to be a left-wing radical who was dating a trans person. So it seems that this was a left-wing gender ideologue cause that made them want to kill Charlie Kirk. But they've been caught. Charlie Kirk's going to win. Is going to get the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest honor a civilian. It's the highest medal a civilian can get in the United States. It's like, since he wasn't military, the highest award you can get as a service member in the military is the Medal of Honor. The Medal of Freedom is the civilian equivalent to that. So, yeah, the highest awards that you could possibly get from our nation and from the President of the United States, which I think that is absolutely fantastic for Charlie Kirk and his family. I'm so glad that President Donald Trump is doing that. But let's get into the story. We have this article here. Let me pull this up real quick. From the New York Post. Charlie Kirk's shooting suspect Tyler Robinson allegedly confessed to the assassination online before arrested. It was me. Tyler Robinson apparently confessed to the killing of conservative icon Charlie Kirk in an online message to nearly 36 people the day after the assassination. "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all," reads a chat message purportedly sent to Robinson, 22, through online community Discord, according to the Washington Post. "It was me at UVU." And it's the University of Valley, Utah, by the way. Yesterday, "Sorry for all this," Robinson allegedly wrote. "I'm surrendering through the sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times and laughs. You have all been amazing. Thank you for everything." So he's thanking people who were encouraging the murder of individuals. So these people are just as evil, in my opinion. The message was sent Thursday night, around 2 hours before Robinson was apprehended, from the account on the platform tied to the suspect. Screenshots of the conversation, which has been sent to around 30 people, was obtained by the outlet through an anonymous member of the group and has not been independently verified by the Post. Discord previously claimed it found no evidence and suspected planned of this incident or promoted violence on Discord after the internal investigation. Robinson's apparent confession comes as federal authorities announced Monday that they were casting a wider net into whether the pro-trans online communities or others knew the assassin planned to kill 31-year-old Turning Point USA founder on September 10th. The suspect was arrested on September 12th when his father turned him into the authorities after the pictures of the FBI posted online soliciting the public help following 33-hour manhunt conducted by the state federal law enforcement agencies. So there's another thing that people are talking about, is the fact that he is from a supposed Christian conservative family, which that's why they turned him in. if he came from a left-wing family, that family would have been hiding him and trying to take him across the border to protect him. Because the left is like a mafia. They protect their own. The public statement made by the officials, as well as evidence discovered during the investigation, indicates Robinson's deeply immersed in left-wing politics and internet meme culture and had a fixation on furries. So definitely more of a left-wing person into giving into your indulgences and passions, especially your weird ones. The Utah governor, Spencer Cox, said Friday that Robinson had deeply been indoctrinated by the leftist ideology despite not being registered with any political party. Well, that's the problem. True hardcore left-wingers, like communist, socialist types, don't like the Democratic Party because they don't think the Democrats have gone far enough. Remember, the left, I've heard it said by either Gad Saad, Gad Saad, I believe, said, he goes, the left exists like the South Pole, except it's the left pole. Everything to the left, everything to the right of the left pole is right, like the South Pole. Anything to the north of the South Pole everything to the north of the South Pole is north. Anything. That's the same thing with the left. The left pole. Anything that is slightly to the right of Karl Marx is right wing, and it's not far enough for a hardcore progressive communist socialist type. And no one understands that. Like I said, we even showed that little bit of information about how the left does not have nearly as much diversity of opinion in their political thinking as the right does. The right's all over the place, whereas the left's like a hardcore little bubble, and you're not allowed to deviate outside of it. Utah representative says deeply indoctrinated to the left. Not registered administrator, blah, 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 blah. FBI Director Dan Bongino told Fox News, Bill Hemmer, on Monday that the suspect had some obsession with Kirk based on his digital footprints. He called the assassination an ideological motivated attack. Inscriptions found on the unspent shell casings of the 30-06 caliber bolt-action hunting rifle used to kill Charlie Kirk indicated his owner had an affiliation with pro-trans and anti-fascist ideologies. The casings of the bullets that killed Kirk etched in with "Notices bulge, ooh woo, what's this?" and nod to a 10-year-old internet meme linked to a furry subculture that centers on sexual interests of anthropomorphic animal characters. So he was a furry. Robinson, can't talk today, is romantically involved with his live-in roommate who identifies as a transgender and is currently transitioning from male to female. A relative of the roommate who is cooperating with authorities and has not been accused of any crime said that they suspect Robinson's radical politics may have been influenced by their relationship. He hates conservatives and Christians. The relative said of the roommate, he hates us. He hated us. He was not raised that way, but he's over the years has he become really detached and been radicalized. I think Tyler got a lot worse in the year that they'd been spent dating. They are big gamers, and obviously they have that group that influences them as well as others. But my gut tells me the roommate did more of the influencing, the relative told Fox Digital. Robinson is being held without bail in Utah jail on preliminary charges, including aggravated murder, felony, discharge of a firearm, and obstruction of justice. He has reportedly not been speaking to investigators. His first court appearance is expected Tuesday, so that'd be today. So I'm going to keep looking that up. But yeah, that's a lot of stuff. And if you remember from one of our stories from before, this isn't they're saying that there's the big conspiracy theory around this now is that this was planned by a bunch of transgender activists. And if we're going to go on the assumption that people making like Lego reenactments of like the January 6ers of the Proud Boys or whatever who were making like Lego replicas of the White House and stuff like that is grounds of, oh, they were planning on doing an insurrection, then that totally means that this group was organizing the assassination of Charlie Kirk. and the left is the one that accused the right of that. So we're allowed to play this game. We go, oh, well, then that means this whole group was organized in trying to make a conspiracy plot to go after Charlie Kirk. And two, again, that's not far off base from what we talked about. That if you remember, you can look up the video, because I've got so much to go through. I don't have time to go to it right now. But we made a video of the Transizian cult that literally killed people to get money and to get property, so that way they could start like this huge radical organization of trans people who thought that they were above. They had enlightened themselves from becoming trans or whatever to become above the regular people of the world, which is pretty much demonic. That is what like demonology tells you. Like I said, you are above. You have enlightened yourself to a higher level, and you are above all these normal people around you, and you can do whatever you want to them because it's justified, because you're better than they are. That's what that Transizian cult was all about. And just the evilness all around it. It's absolutely crazy. So this isn't far off base from a trans cult trying to assassinate and murder people and get away with it. It's not unheard of with that Transizian cult situation. But that's just a little thing that I just wanted to touch on, because we'd already talked about a story of a trans cult type situation that just like conspired to murder and kill people, and their own parents at that. And again, and like the left keeps trying to get back to the fact that, oh, he was raised Christian conservative. And like, no, even if he was raised by Christian conservative parents, he literally segregated himself away from his parents because he didn't like the way that he was raised or what they believed. If he had been still around his parents probably would have tried to talk him out of this thing. But no, he ran away, goes into a group of people. This is what we talk about with like, know what your kids are doing online. Know who your kids are talking to online. Because like even with the little Roblox situation, you're having pedophiles and groomers pretending to be children in these game chats and talking and getting your children isolated, and they're talking to them about adult subjects and trying to meet them in public places without them telling you about it. This is why it's so important to know what groups your kids are involved in. It's absolutely insane. And like this is why I'm 100% believer now that keep your kids off the internet. Like don't get them smartphones. If you just get them a simple flip phone and monitor what they're doing online. I mean, I know that's not the cool thing that the cool parents do, but it keeps your kid safe and becoming a murderer like this guy. And the left is constantly lying about this, about who he is and what he has done. It's absolutely sickening. Like here, right here, said an account with 5 million followers on X posts a fake photo of the suspect Tyler Robinson wearing a Trump shirt and quietly follows up in a thread with the real photo. The fake photo, which has been deleted, gets 400K impressions an hour, and the real one gets 50K. So this is what we're talking about. A lie will make its way around the world before the truth has even woke up or got its pants on. The left is posting things saying that this guy was a white Trump supporter. This is a white Republican Trump supporter saying that that it's the right that did this. Like this kid is not a Trump supporter. There's even a photo of him like wearing a Halloween costume where he's riding on Trump's back, and they're saying that, oh, that means he likes Trump. It's like, no, it can also mean the opposite. Said making a meme about Trump can mean that you like him and you hate him, depending on the intent of the meme. It doesn't mean that you necessarily like him. And something where you're riding on the back of the president usually doesn't mean that you like him. I don't think that if you're trying to show respect to something, you usually aren't, piggybacking off of them, making them carry you around. But, it can be. It can be a funny costume idea, but it's highly unlikely. This guy is clearly a left-winger. But the left is lying and saying, no, he's a right-winger. He's a right-winger. Charlie Kirk got killed by one of his own. It's like, no, he didn't. The left is constantly lying. The left loves to lie about all this stuff. And this is mainstream leftism. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. The fact that they would Photoshop, that the left would sink so low to Photoshop a Trump shirt onto this kid is sickening stuff. Absolutely sickening stuff. Oh, yeah. This one is absolutely evil. This is, can guarantee you this is a Democrat parent.
I have the best news ever.
What? Donald Trump died?
Second best news.
The vice president died?
Okay, third best news.
That Elon Musk died?
Okay, no. Nobody died. My best friend's getting married. I have the best news ever.
Who raises their children like that? And you wonder where these kids are getting these radical beliefs about it's okay to murder your political adversaries. That is sick. That is demonic. That is evil. These children should be taken away from this parent immediately. I'm hoping that this is a joke video. I really do. But it's super, super creepy, even if it's a joke video. I don't know why you would make something like that at all. And if you want more evidence that the trans issue is getting worse and that most school shooters seem to have mental issues, and probably that's the thing. I wonder now if we had gone back, most school shooters were trans, would have had like trans issues. Makes you wonder now, but check this out.
Denver shooter was trans. The Aberdeen shooter was trans. The Nashville shooter was trans. The Philadelphia shooter was trans. The Iowa shooter was gender fluid. The Colorado STEM school shooter was trans. I mean, this is not unique. And we need to be praying for a culture that endorses mental illness and celebrates it. The Denver shooter was trans. The Aberdeen.
Yeah. All these shooters lately are all trans. And are we surprised? Are we at all surprised that it's these people with these severe mental health issues that are causing all these issues now? I would say no, but, something weird's going on here. But the left won't admit it. The left pretends like it's not us. It's not us. We do nothing wrong. We're not culpable of all this. So, sickening stuff. And then, again, here's mainstream left people talking about this. Listen to this lady, and I love how wrong she is. Said there's nothing better than someone not only being wrong, but being dead wrong.
He is not martyr material, so his death will mean nothing. It will activate no one.
Got to turn off the music because the music will get you copyright strike. It's like, look at that. New York, Rhode Island, Texas, Alabama, South Korea, all these other countries, the UK, Oregon, Madrid, all talking about Charlie Kirk. Germany, Idaho, Concord, New Hampshire, Milwaukee, Seattle, London, Utah. Look at that. That is a massive gathering and following of people. It's awesome. I just love that they're all wrong about this. And this also has been contributing to the conspiracy theory that there's people down there that were helping this person, that there's a bunch of people that were trying to distract and let the shooter get away. Mystery bearded man in crowd at Charlie Kirk shooting has been seen cheering and looking back after the gunshot. Yeah. So this is what has been going on, that people think that there was more than one person, that there's been more than one shooter, all sorts of conspiracy theories rolling around on the ground about this. It's so strange. But just goes to show you that there's evil in this world. People that will cheer on the death of someone for no reason other than they hold different political opinions than they do. Sickening stuff. Sickening stuff. All right, and then we'll just talk about it. Let's see all this racist rhetoric from Charlie Kirk that the left keeps talking about, that they keep saying, they swear up and down that this man was the worst thing in the world. So let's check it.
The left comes up to the mic. Let's treat them with respect. Let's not interrupt or scowl or boo them. Show the left the respect that we don't get on these college campuses.
So you do not hate the LGBT community, and Turning Point is not against LGBT.
No, how could I hate that which I have a heart for?
Thank you.
And I might not agree at that for some of the lifestyle choices that some people make. But of course not. And if someone said, Charlie, what's your view on marriage? I say, I believe marriage is between one man and one woman. But if you ask me, what do I have hate in my heart for somebody that doesn't choose the lifestyle that I believe that God laid out in the scriptures? Of course not. You will never be the best version of yourself if you allow other people to convince you that you can't be better because of your skin color, because of your sexual identity, because of the community you came from. You must resist those narratives at all costs if you truly want to be successful.
Dad wanted me to ask you. He said, would you still be a white supremacist if you were in a more diverse work field?
Do you think I'm a white supremacist?
I have no idea if you're a white supremacist. My dad has watched a lot of you. He said if you weren't out here preaching hate and working on your three-pointers, do you think you would probably be better at that?
You should be ashamed of your father.
I'm definitely not. My father's an amazing man.
Yeah,
he cares about American citizens.
Your father
and all
peddles
of their rights.
lies. I'm not a white supremacist. Honestly, shame on him. For someone that runs an organization called Blexit, do you even know what Blexit is?
I do not.
It's literally, we employ 40 black Americans that work in Atlanta, Chicago, and Philadelphia, trying to improve the well-being of inner-city black America. What has your father ever done for inner-city black America other than call me a white supremacist? And by the way, secondly, it's just so ridiculous. It's like it's
black
somehow
people for your companies or whatever you do does not make you a white supremacist.
What is a white supremacist?
A white supremacist is somebody who takes advantage and believes that they are higher than everybody else.
Do I believe that?
I have no idea.
Okay, exactly. And so there's no evidence whatsoever, and yet people go around sloppily saying, you're a racist, you're a white supremacist. It is so destructive to our dialogue. It's destructive to us coming together as a country, and there's nothing to support it whatsoever. The left comes up to the mic. Let's treat them with respect. Let's not interrupt.
Just this guy, like I said, the left. If somebody has like distorted views of some person, it's Charlie Kirk the most.
I think that we should
do this all day.
let more people in because love thy neighbor. You should love everyone equal. Everyone should have equal.
I got it, but it's okay, guys. But let me make a Christian argument, though. The entire book of Nehemiah is dedicated towards building a wall. You must have, it's called an order of loves. My Catholic friends, you're going to love this. It's from Thomas Aquinas. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. It's called ordered loves, and it's one of Thomas Aquinas' most potent moral teachings, which is first, you are called to have a relationship with Christ. Then you must love your family. And if you don't have one of these things, you cannot do the next one. Then after you love your family and take care of your family, you love your community. Then you love your state, and then love your nation, and so on and so forth. We've done a very, very bad job of the ordered loves. In fact, I think we have not taken care of our neighbor as well at all. We have tons of vets in this country that are treated terribly. We have a lot of people that have seen their jobs shipped overseas. And fundamentally, you need to have a country that first loves its citizens. And then, once we generally have our act together, we can have a compassionate immigration system, one that is strictly based in merit to let other people into the country. And I would also just say, allowing 14 million people to bum rush into America has not been good for anybody. It's not good for American citizens. It's not good for native-born Americans. And finally, the last point that I'll make on this is that when a government ceases to understand that it exists first for its own people and not from the people of the other country, you actually don't have a government, you have something else. You have like a big social experiment, and I think that's been incredibly destructive to the American body politic the last couple of years.
I just think that
100%. And again, I always tag on to that. If America is such a racist and terrible place, why would you want to have thousands of migrants and immigrants of different ethnic persuasions or cultural persuasions coming to a country that's white supremacist and evil? It doesn't make any sense. You got to make it make sense, liberals. Yeah. Just like letting Charlie Kirk speak for himself is the best thing that you can do. This man knew what he was talking about.
Nazis like Trump, okay.
You know who Richard Spencer is? You remember that name?
No,
the white supremacist. You know he just endorsed Kamala Harris and voted for Kamala Harris? David Duke, you know that name?
No, I do not.
Yeah, David Duke, a former leader of the KKK, also endorsed Kamala Harris.
Interesting.
So, but what do you think of Antifa?
Well, are you for fascism? Because that's what Antifa is. So then,
no, hold on. Let me get this straight. How
because
can
Antifa is anti-fascist.
Well, that's their name, but in
Yes.
practice, they hunt people down and batter them and assault them.
Do they?
Yes, like Andy No and like myself and many others that have been hunted down by Antifa in the past.
I mean, there are plenty of like crazy people out there on both sides. I just find funny how more of those groups are going for him.
But again,
You know what I mean?
they're not, because look around you. This is your average Trump supporter is what you're surrounded by. Amazing people that want a better country. You have one side that is trying to troll with whatever ridiculous stuff and interrupt me. You have another side that here wait patiently and ask questions. Which side wants civil dialogue and free speech? Why don't they come up to the front of the line and have a discussion? What are they afraid of?
I don't know. Maybe they don't like being in front of crowd. Nazis like Trump. Okay.
Yep. The left protests, the right debates. That is 100% the case. And when the left does come to debate, because these are kids or people who have never really thought through their positioning before, come to talk to him, he makes them look stupid because they haven't thought through their position. It's like the left always takes the easy position. It's like, oh, like with the environment, it's like, oh, well, we're anti-climate change. We're trying to save the environment. Well, obviously, if you're a kid and you go, this group's wanting to save the environment, obviously the other group wants to harm the environment. It's like, no, they don't. No, we don't. Like, if you look, most conservatives and most like farmers and like rural type, country folks are conservative. And they want to protect their property. They want to protect their animals. They want to protect their land from being changed. The left is the one that's like trying to bring in businesses and gentrify locations like that. It's like, you don't deserve that land. That land's the people's land. It's not your land. Only a terrible person would want to own land and be a landowner. It's like the left always takes the position that makes them look like they're the good guys. But the only one that I'm still that I still don't see is like, we're pro-life. The right is pro-life. But, they're pro-abortion, or they're pro, so they churched it up and made it like, we're pro-choice. It's like, no, you're not pro-choice. You're pro-abortion or baby murder. It's hard to swing that one with that. It said pro-abortion. So, more Charlie Kirk just wrecking.
Topic of the left, what is your single most or best advice that you would give to somebody or a student or anyone who wants to engage in a debate?
Well, ask questions, be civil. They won't be. Do not engage in ad hominem attack, even if they do. Use humor and wit where possible. And also understand that we're going to have the best data, facts, logic, so on and so forth, and they will immediately try to attack your intentions. And if they say they have good intentions, then there's no way that they can possibly be a leftist, because the leftist wants to destroy America as we know it. Liberals actually might want to preserve America. They just have a different way to interpret it. Leftists want the complete and fundamental destruction of Western civilization in this country. They think capitalism is a mistake. They think we lived in a rigged patriarchy. They think the Judeo-Christian construct is evil. They want to burn down everything that we love and we hold dear. And we can have a civil conversation about it, but we have very little to agree on.
So on the topic of the left.
Yep. Not wrong. Not wrong. And that's why a bunch of the liberals now are backtracking away from all this, because they're realizing how crazy and how evil these people are, especially, like I said, these gender ideologue folks, as we've been finding out. Like, these people are not mentally well.
If you impregnate a woman and you abandon her, you should be shamed from decent society. Purity culture, I don't hear about that at all anymore. It's like been completely obliterated. We've like dropped that battle. More importantly is we have to build up, what does it mean to be a man, right? And being a man is not just spreading your seed and running around, right? Being a man is finding your life partner and building a family, nurturing and protecting and developing something beautiful. If you impregnate...
Yes, and that's one of the arguments I heard. I think it was from Dennis Prager and maybe a couple other people, but it's like, men build societies, good men build societies, and bad women destroy societies. And I don't mean that all women are bad, but women who are chaste and believe in Christian moral values are what saves a society. Women who don't admire being chaste and starting families are what destroy societies. because men want to go after a morally good and chaste woman. They don't want to go after the OnlyFans girl, the prostitute. Said the girl that's been run through. This is the issue. Is like men are fighting for women. Guys are literally like the whole guy's purpose is to get a good job, make money, and find a good, moral, beautiful, hopefully chaste wife. And women are destroying the society that way. He's like, well, guys get up there and like, oh, this woman has like 30 guys, has 30 bodies on her, has an OnlyFans. She's an embarrassment. She's going to embarrass me and my children, my future children one day, because they're going to get bullied at school because someone's going to find her OnlyFans account or some crap. This is the issue. Women need, said, yes, I completely agree with what you said. Like, guys don't need to go around running around impregnating women and leaving them. I completely agree with that. But at the same time, women, don't open your legs for the guys like that. It's like these are the women who will open their legs for the NBA famous actor, NBA, NFL star, whatever, get pumped and dumped, leave, and then they're like, oh, I want somebody else to pick up the broken pieces of my life. And you're just like, no, you can't expect a guy who's worked hard and is hopefully living a good Christian life to be like, I'm gonna pick up all the baggage and all the drama that you're gonna bring with you, and kids that they possibly bring into the world from these other men. Like, oh, cool, I have to take care of all your problems that you leave behind with you. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for a guy to like go, yeah, that's the life I want to live.
Most important thing that we can do is to bring people to Jesus Christ. So my job is to focus on the second thing mostly. Now, I go to college campuses, so you don't have to. We go and play offense in places where Christians and conservatives do not always go. If we are serious about fighting for the unborn, if we are serious about honoring God, we as Christians must no longer be spectators, but instead must be participants in taking back this country. We can no longer just look from afar. Therefore, he wants you to do something. We act out of obedience. It says in the scriptures, Psalm 97:10, let those of you who love the Lord hate evil. We are commanded to hate what you just saw and to do something about it. Micah 6:8, walk humbly with the Lord, be in righteousness, honor God in all that you do. We talk about this all the time, which is we are here in a state that will determine the future of the greatest nation ever to exist in the history of the world. The problem in front of us is most Christians don't care. Most pastors will not speak out. Most Christians are indifferent about the future of America. I believe we've been given a lot living in America. And God will judge us based on whether or not we are thankful and preserve and protect this great nation, or whether we just kind of cast it aside and say, yeah, America doesn't matter. For those of you that have traveled the world, we should be kissing the ground saying, thank you, God Almighty, that we live in this great country. Thank you, Lord, that we live in this country. But instead, pastors say, that's too controversial. Hey, wake-up call. The gospel is controversial. The Bible is controversial. Because Jesus said in what? Luke 12. I did not come to unite the world, but to divide the world. I've come to bring a sword. Oh, Charlie, that's not very nice. Read the Bible. Because we have been propagandized to believe you go to church to get affirmed. Everybody, you go to church to get saved, not to get affirmed. You go to church to go to heaven, not to feel comfortable in your sin.
If you believe in something, you need to have the courage to fight for those ideas, not run away from them or try to silence them. Charlie Kirk.
The most important.
Yep. And I will straight up say it, like I signed up for Turning Point USA. Signed up for their mail letter. I'm going to try to start doing things to help that organization now. So even if that turns into me going around and going to these college campuses, like I'll go to OU, OSU, RSU, TU, all these places. I'll do it. It says someone needs to pick up and make sure that we continue on this legacy that Charlie Kirk left behind. 100%. Because he was a fighter. Oh, didn't hit the volume button.
I think that it should, by law, half of the NBA should be white.
Great, fine.
And the product would suck.
We are a conquered country.
Would you agree/disagree that the Make America movement, MAGA movement, is a cult?
What is a cult?
Do you know any characteristics of a cult?
I don't know, a charismatic leader that constantly lied people, and they took him out of everyday normal life and leads them towards ostracization and cutting off of family ties. Am I getting closer to describing the Democrat Party?
Do you condemn Elon Musk doing Nazi salutes?
It's very simple. It was not a Nazi salute.
Do it.
See, I have done it multiple times. No, let me interrupt you. That is a bad faith question and argument. You just did a Nazi salute. You're a Nazi. I can't believe it. Get this Nazi off our campus.
Do you know what carbon dioxide is?
Yes. You want to see it?
Okay, you can't see it. It's a chemical property.
Oh, you want to hear it?
You can't hear it either.
You just did.
You cannot. No, you can't. You're hearing my voice. You're hearing the frequency of my voice. Like, okay, so you don't believe.
I think that it should buy.
That's what made him so good. And like getting back to like the whole "we are a conquered country" is like, yeah, said they take down the flags of the nation and put up their own flags. That's what it is. Like if you look what happened at Germany, like I said, the German flag was something completely different before the Nazis took over. The Nazis changed it to their flag. That's no different than the trans flag, the gay pride flag, the anti-fascist flag, whatever. They're hanging up their flags because they don't want the symbol of the nation. They want their symbol hung up. That's what conquering armies do.
What is a woman?
I think a woman is somebody who identifies as a woman.
Got it. So that's not a definition. That's like saying a table is something that identifies as a table. Give me an objective definition of what a woman is.
If I decided right now that I wanted to identify as a woman, I would be a woman.
Okay, but that doesn't answer the question.
I know, but right now I'm a man, right? So if that happened right now, I would be a woman. So once a person makes the decision to identify as a woman,
got it. No,
they're a woman.
That's a separate issue. What is a woman?
That's the definition.
No, I know, but you have to tell me what.
A person who identifies themselves as a woman.
But you have how do you know that they are that thing?
How do I don't need to know what they are. I can ask them if I want to know.
But there needs to be, you need to tell me what that thing is, though.
Somebody who. Okay, sorry, we're not getting anywhere. We're not getting anywhere.
Well, no, it's important because it's like saying a giraffe is a thing that looks like a giraffe, or a coyote is a thing that looks like a coyote. It's called circular reasoning. You have to give me a actual definition.
I don't have to. I did give you a definition.
No. You said that a woman is something that thinks they're a woman. That doesn't give me a definition. What is a woman?
And that is how the left argues. That's how the gender argument works now. It makes no sense. Absolutely no sense.
Being hunted?
Let me tell. Okay, y'all can laugh, but until you have walked as a black person on this campus, y'all truly don't understand.
CJ, come here, really quick. I have a question. Come here. Go right there. So CJ, just really quick. You're a black person. Are you hunted at the university?
You know, I don't feel hunted at this university, but I guess the difference between me and some people here is that I don't choose to be a victim, Charlie, which I think is the biggest problem we have here today are people who wake up every single day looking for a reason to be oppressed, looking for a reason to cry and make an excuse about why they're not in a position to go win. I don't see the color of my skin as a disability. I see it as simply an accessory that I couldn't control. I've been black all my life. I've been black today, and I'm thriving here. I think that's a roll tide right there, right? I don't know.
And so CJ, let me ask you, CRT, racist?
It's not just racist. It's the exact iteration of white supremacy, just in reverse. I think it's important that we start teaching young people not to hate other people because of the color of their skin. We can teach black people to be proud of who they are without telling white people they should be ashamed of who they are. You know?
Amen. Yeah. So, closing thought, CJ.
Is this trying to divide the country?
It's not only trying to divide the country, it's trying to break apart the foundation upon which it was built. You know, people forget the words of MLK, Rosa Parks, all those people who fought so hard for us to be a united country where we didn't see the color of one's skin but their character. This is about taking us away from the vision and the dream of Martin Luther King and just taking us to the dream of Kamala Harris, and I don't want to live that dream.
Amen. CJ, you're a great American. Give it up for CJ, everybody. So good. You're being hunted?
All right. This is where we're starting to get into the nitty-gritty now, which this is why I'm going to get into these next two. This is why the left has felt so emboldened to attack Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk and other Christian conservative types.
Let me ask you tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
This is what kicking the shit out of fascism looks like.
Try to prevent the spread of the lawlessness and the fascist chaos that's been unleashed against us.
So when we say Donald Trump is a fascist, fascism, a huge component of fascism is uniting racism, bigotry, a form of racist nationalism.
We are now living in a fascist dictatorship.
We are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country. We're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government.
Not only to roll over to Donald Trump's will, but to roll over our democracy and allow him to take over this country as a fascist dictator.
When fascism isn't just coming, it's already here.
The former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, said, "No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core."
Hi, Mark Barden at Sandy.
Yeah. There is why the left has felt so emboldened to attack Christian conservatives, to kill Charlie Kirk, and to try to assassinate Donald Trump. The left's rhetoric up to this point has caused all this. And we're just going to see even more. There's even more of it from this.
Speaking of this tragedy, is this a moment for your party to reflect on political violence? Is it a moment for us to think about the responsibility of our political leaders and their voices and what it does to the masses as they get lost in misinformation or disinformation?
Yeah, sure. Let's reflect on dangerous rhetoric, shall we?
Into what I call the basket of deplorables. The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is just supporters.
You said over the weekend, referring to it, there's a direct parallel to a big rally that happened in the mid-1930s at Madison Square Garden.
Well, look,
you were comparing that rally to a Nazi rally?
Look, I'm comparing it to the hate that came out of this, and I think they confirmed that.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core.
Hey, let me shut down the city! We are at war!
We're in a war right now.
We are at war.
So you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
And that's why the gloves are off.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
And yes, there are many threats to democracy. See it with these extreme candidates.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be. But you can only push people so far. And then they start to take matters into their own hands.
What the American public want is for us to bring actual weapons to the smart fight. This is an actual fight.
You know, this is literally call to arms.
The MAGA movement is a threat.
Michelle says that, when they go low, we go high.
No. With all due respect, if they go low, we don't go high.
When they go low, we kick them.
We take them to the mud and choke them out.
And make sure that they stay down. And you know what? Kick them when they're down, because they deserve it.
Get up in the face of some Congress people.
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your...
We have to fight this in the streets.
We're going to fight it in the streets.
It's time to step out of your comfort zone and step out into the streets.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist! You and your little friend off of Twitter. Y'all about to find out.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in
a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station. You get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
He's not going to have a third term. He may not finish this term.
Yes, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. There will be news sometime, just so you know, there will be news.
Speaking of this tragedy, is this a moment for your party to reflect on political violence? Is it a moment for...
Yeah. So them saying that the right is so fueling their supporters, that Trump fueled his supporters into attacking the White House or the Congress building on January 6th. That's them not amping up their base to do violent attacks to promote assassinations of right-wing political figures like Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk. No, that's just us being hyperbolic. When the left does it, it's being hyperbolic, and it doesn't actually mean they don't actually mean what they're saying. But when the right does it, oh, they're inciting an insurrection. They're wanting to destroy democracy. The left is fueled by lies. Evil. Completely evil. So, it's crazy. And like I said, this is what's leading us to this right here. Said, I don't want to get to this situation, but the Democrats have pushed us here. It's like the Democrats are sitting there mocking us, and we're just getting in that headspace. We're getting in that headspace where, like, so everything that we do is evil, but everything that you guys do against us is justice. Something's going to give eventually. Then let's get back to Charlie Kirk and what he stands for and what he believes in.
Know what you are fighting against, because when you see abortion, your life will be changed.
My mom went through 5 abortions before she decided to keep me.
That we allow the massacre of 1.5 million babies a year under the guise of woman reproductive health.
The woman is the patient. The fetus is the problem.
You know, we're going to discard them. Why? Oh, they're smaller. They're not humans. No, that's a baby made in the image of God, deserving of protection.
If you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith.
Is it a human being in the womb? Yes or no? Yes. Well, then why don't you get the human being rights? Well, that's what I'm trying to just... No, ask the question, why does that human not get rights and you do? Well, my question, why do you get rights and the baby doesn't? There is no excuse for murder, period. What is the first thing human rights? Life. Every human being has the right to life, period, hard stop. During an abortion, they actually inject poison as the baby squirms. Have you ever watched an abortion? It is one of the... Yeah, actually I have. And I encourage every human being to watch one to know what you are fighting against. Because when you see abortion, your life will be changed.
My mom went through...
Yeah, it's sickening. It showed part of it in this video here. It's very sickening. If you've ever seen one, it will mess you up. And if you are okay with it, you've got something wrong with you. Because it's a sickening process. It physically made me sick. Just seeing that right there made me physically sick again. Because it's true evil. That is true evil, to destroy life just because, oh, I don't feel like I want it. That is true evil. And like, remember, the other part of this too is like, women say it's like, my body, my choice. Well, you made a choice with a man, so it's also his choice too. And not to try to like make light of it, but like it's the whole funny joke you heard, like, you know, if the said, oh, the baby came out of her, so therefore it's her baby. It's like, The funniest like joke I've ever heard about that was, if I put $1 in a vending machine, is that snack that comes out of the vending machine, is that the vending machine's or is it mine? No, don't need that. All right, and then yeah, and like he does not, like he's the most respectful person that goes on. If you know the Whatever podcast, it's a dating podcast, and most guys who go on there and berate all these girls who are OnlyFans models, say adult content creators, girls who work in the adult industry. Guys go on there and just roast them, and then you have Charlie Kirk who went on there. Check this out.
You guys for a respectful conversation, even though we see things very differently. And if you're engaged in the creation of that content, I think God has a better plan for you. I know that might sound preachy and not what you want to hear, but maybe you'll have an encounter with God, and Jesus loves all of you, and he can transform your life. He transformed my life, and every day is a new day, and it's a hopeful, beautiful life ahead of you. And God loves every single one of us. We're all sinners, and Jesus died.
I mean, you've
for
definitely
us.
been the most respectful one that I've seen.
Well, thank you. That's very.
Met.
Very kind, and I can tell you it's not me. If it was me, I'd be yelling and screaming. It's the Holy Spirit. It really is. I know it might sound silly, it might sound cliche, but Jesus has gone to work on my life. And so, God bless you guys. Thank you for a great discussion.
Charlie, thank you for coming.
Thank you guys for a respect.
Yeah, the most respectful person on the Whatever podcast, and he's the problem. He's the problem. He's talking to a bunch of, like, basically whores. Girls who are OnlyFans models and work in the adult film industry. And they said they're the most respectful person that they've had a conversation with or seen on his podcast. Which is 100% true, because I watch that show just to get some laughs out of it every once in a while. But, yeah, he was the nicest to these girls. He's like, God doesn't want you to do that. You shouldn't do that. You know, you're going to embarrass your future husband. There's going to be a guy that's going to not want to marry you because he's going to find out about your past. And it's true. Your past will follow you around and haunt you for the rest of your life, especially if it's been recorded online. It's like that's the issue here, is like, women, there are two ways for your past to follow you around like that, and it is posting adult content or adult material online and having children with a man that you don't love. Those two things will follow you around for forever. Ah, yes. We'll finish off this one. This one's a good video.
Would you say that black-only dormitories is wrong?
It certainly creates a sense of community. I don't see any problem with that.
Are there differences between races?
No, not biologically.
Then why would we have different dormitories for races?
Culture.
Segregation is what you're arguing for, my friend.
No, sir.
How is it not segregation to have blacks in their own dorm? Ibram X. Kendi argues, who is one of the leading thinkers of critical theory, discrimination today to atone for discrimination of yesterday. We have black-only graduation ceremonies at Columbia University, black-only dormitories across the country, for example, at Western Washington University. Can you join me today in saying black-only dormitories are evil, wrong, and it's segregation? Would you support white-only dormitories?
Everybody has a choice.
So I think white-only and black-only anything is evil and wrong. That's why I hate critical theory and critical race theory, because when it's put in practice, you start to discriminate people based on race. So we're now south of the Mason-Dixon line in North Carolina. We did a lot of work to get rid of segregation in this country. Why are you trying to bring it back?
What work?
The Civil Rights Act of 1964.
In this state?
Yeah, actually in this state. Are there black-only bathrooms out there I'm unaware of, or white-only bathrooms?
Nah.
Right. A lot of work was done in this state.
Fuck you, your face is small.
Well, thanks for being here. They always go to insults when they lose the argument. God bless you, my friend. Would you say that...
That's this evil person that the left hates, can't stand. He's like, he's anti-segregation. That kid came up and was pro-segregation. All these Blexit groups and all these, not Blexit, because Blexit's trying to get black people away from the Democratic Party and bring them into the Republican Party, but the whole black segregationist movement is coming up again. It's like they want to be separate. It's like, okay, so if they're allowed to be separate, you can't get mad. It's like I said, we already did that one of those towns. Like I said, there's the news coverage of the, hey, we're going to make these black-only little towns and communities here in, like, Freedom, Georgia. And then there was that town of people who are like, we only want white European ancestry to join our community up in Arkansas. And that was covered negatively. It's like, oh, these people are racist. These neo-white supremacist groups coming around. Like, then Freedom, Georgia, all black communities, black-only communities in Freedom, Georgia. These people are so brave in doing these great things. Like, okay, you're playing a game here that if the other side is going to play, they get called racist, and it's evil. It's just completely evil. But yeah, and then you have to remember, they were selling shirts. The left is selling shirts of Charlie Kirk being shot and killed. That is how evil these people are.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tella T-shirt on X just made their account private. Because look at what they're selling. But this is the left side, ladies and gentlemen. This is the left side that claims and screams we're about love and empathy. And they're selling shirts like this. Check this one out. Interesting. But again, right, ladies and gentlemen, how dare me be a conservative? I'm the evil man. How dare me? But yet this is the left right here. But let me know what y'all think. Ladies and gentlemen.
That is the tolerant, peace-loving, law-abiding left right there. Selling shirts of Charlie Kirk being shot in the neck. I am proven that evil exists every day on the left. Every day. By these people and their actions, how they're reacting to this. It's really sick stuff. It is really, really sick stuff. I do not see how anybody can do the things that they do. If there was anything equivalent of this on the right, it would be over. It would be over. They would be canceled. They would be called every name in the book. Every news organization would be going after them. Look at this racist person right here. Look what they've done. How could they talk about one of our political figures like this? But Charlie Kirk, the guy who's the most is literally like the poster child for the Republican positions, the moderate Republican positions, pro-gun, pro-life, freedom of speech, you know, not pro-gay marriage. I mean, just like the old diehard conservative, like the old school. The Republican position has not really changed all that much in years. The left has changed so much within the last 10 years that it's not even recognizable from what it was 10, 15 years ago. Whereas the conservatives we're literally the same. We're just like, we've kind of eased up on things. We've kind of become more relaxed with all this stuff. And now we're seeing, after this, we are seeing a revitalization of, okay, maybe the gay marriage wasn't such a good thing because it's just promoted all these things, all this more evil. It's allowed all this evil to just grow and fester here in the country and in our nation. It's very sickening stuff.
Question.
Sure. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
I don't think I told you. My name's Mercury.
Nice to meet you. Well, nice to re-meet you, I should say.
What do you hope to get out of this? Why are you here?
Okay, I've been asked that question a lot. First of all, that question should not even have to be asked, but when people stop talking, really bad stuff starts. When marriages stop talking, divorce happens. When church starts happening, they fall apart. When civilization stops talking, civil war ensues. When you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to want to commit violence against that group. Whether it be the great genocide, the horrible genocide of the last 100 years, people stop talking with each other because they lose their humanity. I wish we could be here without having my hat thrown off and stuff, but what we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have a reasonable disagreement where violence is not an option.
How could you hate that man? Just wanted to have topics, because the only thing, if you get rid of having conversation and dialogue with somebody, all that's left is violence. The left loves violence. For people who claim to be anti-gun, you know, anti-fascist, all this other stuff, they are so pro immediately going to, let's get to the violence. Now, I forgot to throw this one up on here. This, and, you know, language advisory in this video, but there's been a lot of that I, in some of these videos here, is This is where that whole what he scribbled into the side of his guns, like that ooh woo notices your bulge and stuff, came from. This is the meme of where that came from. I forgot to play this earlier, so I'll go ahead and play it now. It's a very strange video. It made me laugh the first time I saw it because it's just so strange. But yeah, this is where that furry kind of trans culture kind of comes from. It came from this right here.
What in God's name are you doing? Back off, you crazy bitch!
Please give me huggy wuggies. Ooh woo.
What the fuck are you saying?
Pounces on you.
How could this happen to me? Made my mistakes. Got no better
Valor. X3. What's this? Oh, whoa. Notices your bulge. Let's have a little look-see here.
I wish I stayed home and played the new Call of Duty. This is so not cash money!
Yeah. That's where that came from. So, yeah, interesting stuff. But here, let's check out this J.D. Vance video. Then we'll look at a couple of other memes real quick. And then we'll end it out with a Rest in Peace Charlie Kirk video again. But, yeah, just like we're pretty much wrapping up on this. So let's check out what J.D. Vance has to say about this. And it's like, I agree with what he's saying right here. I completely agree.
Who lies about what Charlie Kirk said. There is no unity with people who scream at children over their parents' politics. There is no unity with someone who lies about what Charlie Kirk said in order to excuse his murder. There is no unity with someone who harasses an innocent family the day after the father of that family lost a dear friend. There is no unity with the people who celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination. And there is no unity with the people who fund these articles, who pay the salaries of these terrorist sympathizers, who argue that Charlie Kirk, a loving husband and father, deserved a shot to the neck because he spoke words with which they disagree. There is no unity with people who scream at children over their parents' politics. There is no unity with someone who lies about what Charlie Kirk...
Some of those videos are really good. You can't tell where they restart and all that. But, yeah. J.D. Vance. 100% correct there. Love it. Now, let's get over here to this. The Charlie Kirk Memorial brings candles. The BLM memorials bring Molotov cocktails. Not wrong. Every teacher celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination is also glorifying a school shooter. Let that sink in for a minute. That is not wrong, too. I have seen lots of people who are teachers at elementary schools and at other schools celebrating this. And this is what I talked about. There's 4 types of people who are teachers now. They're the people who are the okay ones who are like they've wanted to be teachers their whole lives. There's the people who are in college that failed out of every other subject, sucked at everything, became teachers. Then, I said technically it's 3. Maybe I'm forgetting one. But then the third one is activists. Activists that want to indoctrinate your children. Those are the 3 types of people who become teachers. Person who want to do it their whole life. People that fail at every other subject in college. And then the activist class now. The activist class are these people. Because they want access to your children to indoctrinate them with their point of view. And that's what's going on. And like I've seen several schools, like the Teach Across America folks are a part of that organization. Because I had a conversation with a guy who's like they would literally come into their meetings for Teach Across America or whatever it was every day. And they would have a conversation about racism, sexism, something going on. He goes, and then the day that, I forget what it was, I'd have to go back. I couldn't remember because this is a conversation I had like right after I graduated college with some guy. And he was just like, we're one of those cops. I think it was that cop that got killed in Dallas that even Cuba Gooding Jr. talked about, said he was a good guy. You know, that was the big thing blowing up the news. And didn't mention one word of it. They said they came in, they didn't have a meeting that day about anything. And he just goes, that rubbed him the wrong way. He's like, yeah, because they are left-wing activist group. These Teach Across America folks are a left-wing activist group disguised as a teaching organization to help kids. It's an activist group. They're there to indoctrinate these teachers and get them all dialed in on becoming a democratic activist. It's evil stuff. Meme, Jordan Peterson debating that one lady, that Kathy, whatever her name was, from Britain, just like, the shooter was, and it says Jordan Peterson saying the shooter was deeply indoctrinated in leftist ideology, according to everyone who knew him. And then she's the Democrat saying, so what you're saying is he was a Republican. Then it's just Jordan Peterson just staring at her. Hilarious. Yeah, this is honestly how all conservatives need to feel now, is this scene from Rick and Morty where Rick is out there and he's just like, your boos mean nothing to me. I've seen what makes you cheer. These people are cheering of the death of Charlie Kirk. You should not be ashamed to be booed and yelled at and be called a racist, sexist, fascist, whatever by a left-wing political person ever again. You should embrace it. Like, thank you. These evil people hate me. Thank you. 100% the case. Like, if a left-wing person hates you, you're doing something right because these people are evil. Especially if they're celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk and the people who are also cheering on the fact that somebody tried to kill Donald Trump. That's evil. If someone is a Nazi or if someone is a Nazi or a fascist, they wouldn't be having a civil debate with you. Scene from, it's a little meme from Jim from The Office. 100%. A Nazi or a fascist tries to silence people speaking up against things that they don't believe in. Let's see. That doesn't define Charlie Kirk at all because he willingly let left-wingers come up and debate him on the microphone. He would bring them up. He's like, hey, guys, I know that some of you guys are my fans and want to come up and talk to me, but we want to have the liberals come up and debate me because that's the people we need to try to convince. These are the people that we need to have the debate with. It's not, I don't want to talk to a bunch of people that agree with me. That's the opposite of fascism. Quite literally. It's like he's talking and having a dialogue with his enemies, with his political enemies. Whereas they're trying to shut him down. They killed him because of it. And the right's the bad guys. Charlie Kirk was the bad guy for trying to have civilized conversation with people, whereas they were trying to get him kicked off campus, yell and protest and speak over him at the campuses, and now they couldn't do any of that, so they resorted to the only thing that they could do, kill him. That is the left. That is the left to a T right now. Right here. Yeah, check this out. Why cancel culture is good for democracy. February 20th, 2023. People are losing their jobs over criticizing slain free speech advocate Charlie Kirk. September 12th, 2025. Be careful what you wish for, leftist. This is the problem. Is the left's like, you don't get to say things and then not get repercussions for them. Until it's their turn. Until their group of people is getting in trouble for the exact same thing. They only want this to happen to right-wingers. This is how you know it's evil. You only want the rules to apply to your enemy, but not to you. That is evil. We're sick of just saying, like, oh, it's hypocritical. It's not hypocritical. It is hypocritical, but it's evil. It's true evil. It's like rules for thee, but not for me. That is what this is. This is how the left plays the game. It's like you're playing a game, and then the left starts to lose, and they get mad and flip the table over and leave you picking up the pieces. And then you set everything back up and start to play again. Then they want to come back and play again. It's so stupid. It's retarded. It's absolutely retarded. That's what these people are doing. It's like, oh, this is good when it's working for us, but it's not good for when it's happening. And remember, the left was canceling people on the right for stuff that they tweeted or texted years ago, like Roseanne. And then like the other, they canceled some like singer for like something his dad posted like 10, 20 years ago. And you're just like, good Lord. Whereas these people are openly saying, yay, Charlie Kirk was killed, yay. I mean, within hours and a day after he got killed. And they're like, oh, why are we getting fired from our jobs now? I was like, because you're a bad person. Like, saying something that you regret saying like 10 years ago and getting fired for it is a little crazy. Whereas, yeah, you can get fired for saying something terrible to somebody in person. Like, oh, if you call, like, that'd be like you as a server calling a customer a bad name, and then the manager over here goes, "You're fired. Pack up your stuff and leave." Like, why are you firing me? Because you just insulted one of our customers. Like, that makes more sense than like your boss coming up to you, pulling out his phone and going, "Ooh, you tweeted something pretty bad 10 years ago. We're going to have to let you go because of that." So stupid. Christianity Today. This is how you know that just because Christians in the name doesn't always mean a good thing. But Christianity Today. George Floyd left a gospel legacy in Houston. Christianity Today, and that was back in May 28th, 2020. Christianity Today. Died. Charlie Kirk, activist who championed MAGA doctrine. Christianity Today, September 11th, 2025. Not the fact that he probably did more for spreading the gospel than most Christian pastors today. Doesn't say he left a legacy behind. No, George Floyd left a legacy behind. Charlie Kirk, who championed MAGA, died today. Very strange. Very strange. Then this, I love this. This is how you know that the transgender ideology is wrong and evil, because it makes no sense. It's like, look at this. This Catherine Pope lady. Trans women are women. Then Barbara Rose. Catherine Pope, when did you transition, hun? You look great. That she immediately responds back to this lady. Barbara Rose, I'm a biological female. Oh, wait a minute. So, this is literally the stuff where, like, there's some kid that says that they're trans, or some person that says that they're trans, like, on their stream, and they have their pet with them, like their cat or their dog or something, and then someone in the chat just asks them what gender is their animal, and they say it, and then they realize what they said because they were just talking about transgenderism, how, oh, you don't have sexes, and all that stuff. It's so funny. But this will be the last thing I play us out before I do the Charlie Kirk memorial video. But yeah, like, this verse has been hitting me hard lately because of them going after Charlie Kirk. And it's been hitting on a different level for me today. So I'm just going to play it because, I mean, it is, if there is anything that should tell you what's going on in the world right now, is like, this world is only temporary. And, you know, check it out.
Love of the Father's not in him.
All that's in the world, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life.
It's not of the Father, it's of the world.
All those desires pass away. But he who does God's will is going to live forever.
Forever. If a man loves the world, love of the Father's not in him.
All that's in the world, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life.
It's not of the Father, it's of the world.
All those desires pass away. But he who does God's will is going to live forever.
Forever.
It was like, this world is only temporary. It said, live for God. Don't live for this world, because after them going after Charlie Kirk like that, it was like, there's nothing in this world that's really worth it. I mean, like, these people went after him for no reason whatsoever, other than the fact that they were jealous of him. And they just didn't like what he had to say, which is true evil, in my opinion. So, but that's pretty much all I've got for today. I'm going to play us out with a Charlie Kirk tribute again, because They caught his killer. I'm just glad that this person they caught. I hope that they find and uncover if there is an actual cabal of people that plan this out. I want them all to be arrested. I want them to be prosecuted in their full extent of the law, because that's the only way. Enforcing the law is the only way to stop these people. That's why the left is so dead set against not enforcing the law and just giving people a slap on the wrist and letting them go. That's what's going on in the world right now. We need to enforce the law. We need strong Christian values again. That's what we need. But this has been Chad with Owasso Live. This was The Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. But that's pretty much all I've got for today. I will catch you all in the next one. God bless you, everybody.
What advice do you have for me as I move into adulthood in order to become a more informed and involved citizen?
Well, first of all, thank you for being here, and I have hope thanks to people like you. How old are you again?
13.
13. Here's a couple things I want to encourage you to do. Learn something new every single day, and focus on what it means to be a good person and a person in strong character. Aristotle said that courage is the ultimate virtue. Without it, there are no other virtues. If people aren't courageous, you don't have honesty. You don't have justice. You don't have beauty. You don't have wonder. And so at age 13, I want you to commit yourself to a life of courage. Courage is doing the right thing when you don't know how it's going to work out. Courage is committing yourself to the correct course of action, regardless of the cost associated to it.
Every human being, I believe, is made in the image of the divine, is sacred, is unique. And if we get away from this principle as we have, we not only have moral degradation, we not only have the collapsing society around us, but it's bad for that being itself. That being itself is unique. That being has rights. And who are we to say, just because we're older, that we get to murder it? Thank you.